Hey everybody, what's going on? We are live. I'm here with Steve and Josh, the normal group, right? Welcome to the live stream, Wednesday night live stream. Give us some love in the comments if you guys are watching. Let's see who you are, where you're watching from, what you're up to on this Wednesday night. And just so you guys know, we have episode 1 of our podcast out already, which is super awesome. So basically, we're taking these live streams, we turn them into a podcast. So if you can't watch live, you can listen whenever, or if you just can't get enough of us, you can listen to us over and over and over again. Hopefully, we talk about stuff that interests you, that gets you motivated and excited, and maybe learn a thing or two. We got a pretty diverse group of fans out there from all over the world, and we love talking to you guys every week. So, welcome.
And we actually have 2 episodes live.
We have 2 live already.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, the one what we're doing right now will get posted to the patrons this week, and then everybody else will get it next week as a podcast.
Nice.
Cool.
And Steve does all the editing work, so nice job, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
I really felt like I had too much time on my hands. I was just like, man, all this extra minutes of the day, how can I kill it? Like, what other responsibility can I give myself? And so that's when
just pile more right on that plate, right? That's how I feel every time I say yes to something. I'm like, man, inevitably something's got to get cut. So speaking of that, let's start with the normal intros. I just want to say shout out to Doug and Bill and Carlos. Thank you guys for tuning in and for watching over on Twitch and Facebook. We're live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube right now. So whatever is your preferred method of watchery, tune in. Watchery. Yeah. So, it's like super beautiful out here in New England where I'm living now. I just got Frosty Freeze today, which if you guys are not familiar with it, it's some of the best soft serve ice cream that you'll ever get. It's like a big event every time it opens every spring. So got some ice cream today. Been nursing Jordan because he has bronchitis, aka man flu, aka he's dying. But
is it man flu? Is that like the thing?
I mean, I feel pretty good that he actually officially has bronchitis, that he's not just being dramatic, but he's still pretty out of it.
I didn't know if you meant like bronchitis was exclusive to men. That's like the man.
No,
flu.
Anytime a guy is sick, it's called the man flu.
Any level of sickness.
Any level, yeah.
Flu.
Okay. Like when I get a headache, man flu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Down for the count. Left work early. Down for the count. Yeah. So what about you guys? What's new with Josh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like in Rhode Island, it's beautiful here. It's actually a really nice day today, and it's funny because Monday we had hailstorms.
Wow.
Yeah. Which was crazy.
Hailstorm?
Yes. I was trying to think like, how can I make that punny? But I don't know. Their name is Hailstorm, so
It is not a dad yet.
yeah.
You'll get there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so other than that, doing the school thing, there was some cool announcements. This like yesterday, Angels and Airwaves announced a world tour, so I'm super pumped about that. And they're coming to Pittsburgh. They're coming to Stage AE, so
we played there too, so
I
we're
know.
basically like on the same level.
I know. I'm like,
Right.
I was on the same stage as Tom, but sorry, you're like geek fanboying right now. But yeah. So and I think tickets go on sale Friday, so I'm definitely gonna try to get some. But yeah. Other than that, it's pretty much been the same. Same old stuff.
Yeah. Did you do anything? You do anything outdoorsy when there's nice weather?
Um,
Like throw a frisbee around or
I cut grass, basically.
cut the
Yeah.
lawn? Yeah.
Which honestly, it's not that bad. It's kind of therapeutic. Like I never want to do it, but when I'm doing it and I'm just listening to music, and I cut up my parents' yard, and they have like 2 acres, so which doesn't sound like that much, but there's a lot of obstacles.
Is it a
So,
ride-on mower or
yeah, well, yeah, I do part of it riding, and then the other push. Then normally my dad trims, so I don't have to.
you need to post a picture of you mowing the lawn for
I
the
know.
fans, dude, especially if you're
But
shirtless.
you said it like it's not that much. Like
2
I
acres
have
is huge.
a quarter acre. I think my house is a quarter acre. Now, granted, my mower was given to me by my ex's father, and I appreciate that it was free. But the thing was like built in like the 50s. It's like got the giant bicycle tires in the back with the spokes. It's like
Oh,
definitely not
Like a
even
John Deere?
self-propel.
That
It's just
sounds
like
like a tractor.
a push mower.
oh,
So
see, that's tough. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty light, so it's not that hard to push. But I started cutting mine on Saturday, and even with a quarter acre, it was so hot Saturday. I just did the front yard, and I was like, screw it. Nobody's gonna see the backyard. I got a fence. I'll
Yeah.
do that some other time. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, 2 acres is a lot, but I guess on a riding and like I've cut grass that's been 4 acres, like on a riding mower. So 2 acres is like nice. But I don't know, it's still time consuming. Definitely takes hours and hours, but it's nice listening to music and just like cruising.
I love the smell of fresh cut grass too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree. It is kind of therapeutic. I don't really mind it. I honestly, it takes more self motivation to like exercise than it does for me to like mow the lawn. And both of them are those things that like once you are in it, then you're like, oh, this isn't bad. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, mowing the lawn, I typically will like listen to a book on tape or a podcast or something while I'm mowing, and you just kind of like zone out. And so, speaking of podcasts, y'all can listen to the new
Nearly Dad's podcast.
Yeah,
Podcasket
when
While
while
cutting
you're mowing the
grass.
lawn.
Yeah.
I also want to say earlier today I did record some vocals here at home, and I sent them off for the new acoustic song. So I did stuff today. I got work done today.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'll also like to point out that I'm envious that I don't know if everybody on the stream notices, but TJ and I have the same webcam. And then TJ's just over there glowing in hers, and mine makes me look like I just drank 6 cases of whiskey and I'm just like flush and boozed out of my mind.
Do you have the light on?
No, I just
turn the light
natural
on.
light, and then the light on the webcam is on.
Oh, that's what I meant was the webcam light. I don't even have, so I'm in front of a window. So I have like that natural light coming in, which is awesome. But if it gets a little darker, then I turn like the light on there. So I'm like, maybe, and I also wear like a shitload of makeup. So there's that.
I'm like, my face is not this red in real life, but for some reason on this camera, I look like I've just been on a bender. So
I mean, I actually struggle with rosacea. It kind of developed it a little bit later in life. Like for the past couple of years, I've been struggling. So underneath the makeup, I'm totally like flushed and red, and it's just because I'm, just every day it just happens now.
Are you sure it's just not age too? Because I also get that. Like I have this cream that I put on at night that reduces redness.
I mean, I feel like my cheeks get red now all of a sudden.
Man.
But, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
We're just over here like dating ourselves.
I think it's well, it's like hereditary. There's a lot of different factors, a lot of different like stress is a big cause of it. So like I know definitely when I get stressed, it's worse. And it sucks, man. It's tough. But like I said, I love makeup. I have a lot of makeup on. Bill says, this is getting weird. Yes, I know. I'm like, why is Steve telling people about his creams?
Hey, that's just what we talked about. Last week it was holiday mascots. This week we're talking face creams. We're talking
favorite face
vitamins.
creams.
We're talking,
Yeah, I'll talk vitamins all day.
joints and muscle.
Yeah. What muscles
Yeah.
are aching this week?
Right.
What
My
muscles did you pull this
My
week?
bones are creaky.
Yeah.
Doug over on
Oh,
Twitch is telling me just to spray my face with eye drops.
listen, I need to tell you guys too. Last night we watched The Conjuring 3,
Ooh,
and it
The
was
newest one.
the newest one. Yeah, we did like an HBO Max trial, which we probably will never cancel. And now we have another streaming service, which we've also
Right.
talked about online on the stream. But yeah, Conjuring 3 was excellent.
I want to see it.
I
I
loved
think
it.
we're going this Friday to see A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah,
Which
I would like to see that too.
because the first one was just so fantastic. Tommy hadn't seen it yet, so we watched it on Monday, and just John Krasinski knocked it out of the park. I mean, that was one of those movies that's like creepy and suspenseful, but at the same time, there was moments where I was like, when he's like telling his daughter he loves him, that he always loved her, I'm like over there like, don't see me cry, don't see me cry, Tommy. I'm a man. I got this.
Oh man.
Like, especially like parent-child things. Like, I always get so choked up with that. But
How many times have you cried this week?
oh, probably at least 10. I don't know.
What about you, Josh? How many times
I'm
you
a
cried?
crier.
Oh,
You're a
I
man.
mean,
Men
not
cry.
10, but easy 7, at least once a day.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Not because of movies, mostly because of sheets.
I definitely teared
Every
up.
time I drive past, I'm like, I want you, but I can't have you.
I don't. Oh, sheets. I definitely teared up a little bit a few times in the movie. I mean, I'm definitely a crier. I'll see like a sentimental commercial or something and just like tear up a little bit. And last night, there's Ed and Lorraine Warren. It's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they love each other so much, and they just really capture that in the movie. I think. I mean, I know it's dramatized in that, but it was just really there was some cute. I will just say
That's
cute.
That's the point.
And
is to like,
have you either of you like watched or read stuff on them? Because they're really like that legit. Like it's really cool watching that movie, but I've watched like documentaries of the real Ed and Lorraine, and like that's pretty accurate as far as like how they met and stuff too. So it's cool. I thought it was a really good movie, and I love that it focused on that more than I think the other ones. But
yeah.
yeah.
Steve, are we ready to move on from what we've been up to?
I'll try to keep mine brief real quick, but I wanted to say something because it reminded me of an old Nearly Dead story, and I'll just kind of talk about it. And TJ, if you feel like elaborating, you can. I don't know if it's a sensitive topic or not, but so I'm going to go backwards in time to my weekend since the last time we did the stream. But yeah, it's been a pretty busy week. Like, this is the first week I'm working on my own, doing my own business now, and it's been going great, but like longer days and figuring out the routines, and it's like fun and intimidating, but money's good. And then seeing all the cool video games and stuff they have coming out in the year ahead. So that was fun, just hanging out with a couple of my best friends, just being super huge dorks. But so Saturday though, I went over to Mo's house because he has a yearly crawfish boil.
Oh man, and that's where they put like the newspaper all over their kitchen table, right? And you'll just suck the heads out of sea bugs, right?
Yeah, basically. I don't, to be honest, I don't really like crawfish. Not because I don't think that it tastes good. I just think it's more trouble than it's worth. Like, because here's the thing: a crawfish tail has half as much meat as a shrimp does, and a shrimp is something you use to describe something that's small. So if it's smaller than like the definition of small, which is a shrimp, then it's not a lot of meat, and you got to like crack the tail and break it apart and pull it out, and it's just, and I'm not sucking brains out of some things. I'm not doing that. I'm not from Louisiana or some weird backwoods bog. I don't know. Like,
hey, plenty of regular people like crawfish, not me.
yeah. It's like a thing though. It's like an
Yeah, yeah,
event.
yeah. It's like
So
the
I
whole
just
thing.
go,
Yeah.
I eat the
I'm
potatoes
sure
and
everything
the
tasted delicious.
sausage and
Yeah.
there's corn in there. So anyways, yeah, we're hanging out and he does this once a year and a bunch of people come, his family, and it's a lot of fun. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna be eating all this like corn and potatoes, it's BYOB. I don't want to like bring beer and get bloated and all that. So I was like, I'll just bring tequila and I'll just sip on it like normally that I do. But I made the mistake of it was kind of like the whole Anchorman milk was a bad choice because
That
the
sounds like
crawfish.
awful. Like tequila and crawfish does not sound like a good combination.
Oh, I mean, it tasted fine. The problem was it was cucumber jalapeno tequila, so the crawfish was already spicy. So then I had the spice in the tequila, so my mouth was spicy the whole time. But anyways, I'm hanging out. I'm pacing it. It's cool. Like I love this tequila. It's what I drink when I go out because I know I can just cruise along, nice little buzz, tastes good. Well, towards the end of the evening, Mo pulls something out of his outdoor fridge that apparently his friends know about. Some weird, I don't know if it's Russian or German or something, some weird alcohol that they were calling like Malort or something.
Does it kind of taste like Jaeger?
A little bit. It's like really shitty tasting.
Oh,
But they were
okay,
just like, you
never
got to
mind.
try this or whatever.
Okay.
And they always try to get people to try it. And so I was like, whatever. They give me a shot of it. And yeah, it was like battery acid meets Jägermeister meets something. It was disgusting. And so then I was like, whatever, and we're talking, and it starts to give me buzz, and then they poured me another shot, and I don't remember like but it was like a thick one, and I just sucked the other one down because we're just hanging out, and then beyond that, I just remember eating cheese balls out of a thing, and then
what?
I don't remember, and so I just them pushing that on me, and just I'm usually, you know me, I'm pretty like. I never get like drunk or pass out or anything, but it definitely.
I don't think I've ever seen you like shit faced.
No, never, because I'm like, I don't ever want to like pay for a cab. I don't ever want to not know what happened. So I usually know, but that like Malark or whatever they gave me, definitely.
What was it? It's from Germany or something.
I don't know. It was some weird foreign liquor. So, but it made me think of another time we had a friend push something on us that was a little heavier than we thought in Dewey Beach.
Oh yeah, is that the story that you're trying to tell right now?
No, I was just saying that's what it made me think of. That's what it alluded to, and I didn't know like if that's a story you don't tell, or
we can save that for another live stream. Drunkest moments.
I know I had to have heard it because that would have been the first time.
Corey was still in the band. Yeah, Corey was there. Corey carried me up the stairs to the hotel room. Yeah, we can talk about that another stream. Embarrassing, accidentally drunken stories. That can be like another topic for another day.
We'll make it a whole segment.
We'll make it a whole thing. Because I really want to get to the patron questions. So the name of the stream, the childhood bands, basically. You know, your go-to bands growing up. A couple people have already started commenting that some bands, Evanescence, Breaking Benjamin, Seosin, like a lot of people. What else? And then Not So Trendy Brendy says too many to narrow down easily. So I kind of want to move on to this because I think it's a really cool topic. And this one comes from Craig via the Patreon. And who was your favorite go-to band growing up? Because y'all are so old now.
Right.
Just
rude. Hashtag rude.
Hashtag rude. No, it was in parentheses, not quotes. So parentheses, because y'all are so old now, parentheses, before you started playing music and forming TND. So I think this is a really cool question because it kind of, we talk a lot about like our influences But I think a lot of your influences come while you're discovering your instrument and while you're trying to form bands. You're like, okay, I want to be in a band because of like this band, you know? But I think this question's a little bit different than that. I think it's like your go-to band. I mean, I listen to Christina Aguilera and Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. And actually Garbage. I listened to Garbage when I was younger. So,
well, it's almost like I feel like we almost need to go. I have an idea because if I feel like this is the question depends on like where you were in your life, because you say younger, but I went through several phases where it was like
all right,
I was
take
like
us through
jumping
the
from
phases.
click to click into very different things. So it's
What
almost
were
like
you?
I feel
What
like
were you
we should go
downloading?
through like we should each say like our middle school thing, and then
Dude,
each say our like high school phase, and then each our college phase or something like that. Because it's like, I mean, I was very different music listener in all those periods of my life.
What were you downloading on LimeWire?
Ooh.
Right. Or SWATNut. Or Napster.
Or Napster. What were you downloading on Napster illegally? Like, what was on your mix CD? Like, if I go into my basement right now, I have a giant tub full of CDs. Do you guys still have any of your old mix CDs?
I think I have them somewhere. I know I still have some.
I feel like for next week, we should all pull out like our old mix CD and just be like, what's on this? And like put it in your computer, figure out what's on it, and like then we'll all share.
Yeah.
I can. I've got the book. I've got that book up in my closet up there. That's the binder that has you put all the CDs in. I've got the binder of CDs.
Yeah.
I have like mine still all in jewel cases. Like not and jewel cases are like towers. You know, the towers with like that because they were burned. So you have like the tower of like 100 CDs and
oh yeah.
Oh man, those were the LimeWire days. We all fucked up our parents' computers. Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad.
Oh yeah.
It was I just remember downloading a lot of like Eminem and cuz like I guess back when he was like massively huge, that was around when I was in high school. So, a lot of Eminem, Madonna, like whatever, I don't know, whatever was like new at the time, whatever's like top.
So is this round one, the Napster files is what we're doing? Round one.
What do you remember being like, I fucking need to hear this song all the time. I'm gonna go find it on Napster. Was there ever that song that you were like, all right, I'm gonna download this and ruin my parents' computer for this? Because I don't want to go out and buy the CD, or you can't buy the CD.
I know actually Eminem was one, like Lose Yourself. That was definitely one.
Yeah.
I needed that song when I heard it, and I definitely downloaded it. It was on my mix for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rise Against was a big. For some reason, I was into listening to Rise Against in that whole time period.
Yeah.
So I downloaded a lot of that, and then old like Def Leppard. I remember like downloading like Def Leppard songs and like Skid Row songs and stuff like that.
That's fucking random. I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I went through a lot of different. I don't know. Like I would hear them on the radio, and just wanted to keep listening to it and just go give my parents' computer a virus.
Oh, let's go to the comments real quick because we've got some good answers here. Ben said, so you're old, nearly dead. LOL, please don't block me. Don't worry. We won't block you because we're the nearly deads. Yes. And then he says he downloaded Metallica off Napster just to piss off Lars Ulrich. And then the first song I ever illegally downloaded was When It's Over by Sugar Ray. Good song.
Mm-hmm.
And I still love that song. I don't care what anyone says. Hey to Natty Attack over there on YouTube, and also White Wolf. Thanks for watching on YouTube. So yeah.
I'm gonna say my Napster things because I got some funny stories to go with it. But quick sidebar, Josh mentioning radio totally flashed an image in my head. So you were talking about mixed CDs. I'm gonna really show my age now with mixed tapes.
Yeah.
There was a period in my life where I thought I was the biggest badass ever. I had a Sharper Image radio. Like Sharper Image, it was like hung on the wall and it was like flat with the two speakers and silver and had like the double cassette tape deck and it was a radio and it was mounted on my wall next to my bed. And
Oh,
I
did
would
the
just
CD go into it like vertically?
yeah, so
Yes,
yeah, you
like
like pushed
very,
it up in
yeah.
there, the CD top, and I would just lay there at
So
night on
space
with the
age,
radio,
so
and I would
millennium.
just wait with my like blank tape, and when I would hear the song come on, I would just like reach up real quick and hit record play. And so the mixed tapes, doing it that you always it was like a bunch of songs missing the first like 3 seconds of the song because
Yes.
you didn't know it was
You
like
didn't know it was
coming.
going to be on.
Yep.
Unless,
So
yeah, unless the DJ was like, coming up next.
right, yeah, exactly. So that was fun. But Napster, yeah. So my Napster had a bit of a spread there. I don't think it came and went as fast as we remembered. Like when it first came out, Napster is how I found out about Linkin Park and absolutely fell in love with them because me and my friends who are here this weekend were nerds and we would go on, you could download video on Napster, and so we were downloading montages of Dragon Ball Z fights. They would have these videos that were like just the fight scenes, but
Oh,
they
man.
would
Oh, they
people
would
would
put
like
music to 'em.
montage
Yeah.
it and they put music
Yeah.
behind it, and a bunch of them had Linkin Park under it, like Crawling in the end. And I was just like, this is dope, this music's heavy, it's sick, and look at Vegeta and like they're fighting and this is awesome. And so I like found out like who the band was and then heard them on the radio and bought Hybrid Theory. Napster was also responsible for me partially getting into my hardcore metal phase because I would also
My eyes just got
download
real. My eyebrows
skateboarding
just got
videos.
raised. Like, what hardcore metal phase? Let's
You
hear
missed
about
out
this.
on that. Like when
This
when
was
you
way
met
before I
me,
met you guys.
I was back into like mainstream rock when you met me. I was back into the grunge. But when I was in high school, like when I had my first band, we were going to State Theater watching like Norma Jean and the Chariot and like Every Time I Die and all like thrashy throwdown bands. So I got into that music because of Napster because I was a skater kid or thought I was, and I would download skate videos like people skate, and you could search doing stuff like Element or pick some skater brand. So I typed in Spitfire because Spitfire is the name of some skate trucks and wheels, but it gave me the band Spitfire, which was like previous Norma Jean members and stuff. And all of a sudden I hit play and I'm like, what is this? And there's like screaming and heavy. And I was like, this is cool. And I was like, I got to download more stuff. And I found out about Norma Jean through it. But then I also had, this is a hilarious memory that will stick in my mind forever because Napster got me grounded one time. I believe I was in 8th grade, and that was back when I was really into rap. And so I'd go on there and I'd download all kinds of rap songs, and I had downloaded DMX. And I'm I don't have a computer. I'm in 8th grade. I'm on my dad's computer in his office. And I'm in there, I'm like doing my homework, I'm downloading stuff, and I'm listening to my DMX. And my dad, I had it on so loud I didn't hear him like walking down. And my dad walks in the room right during like, I think it's Up in Here, when he says, suck my dick. Right as he says that, my dad walks in the door and he's like, what are you listening to? What is this? And he's like, I don't like it. You turn this off right now. Like, you're grounded for the computer. Go to your room. You shouldn't be listening to this stuff. And he was like, so I was like so embarrassed and like caught off guard because I didn't even know he was home. So DMX got me grounded thanks to Napster.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's freaking hilarious. I don't think I ever got in trouble for LimeWire or Napster.
No, I never got in trouble, but I do know that the computer slowed down and pop-ups. Yeah,
No, but here's the thing: it's
something-
like parents had no fucking idea why. They'd be like,
No.
"What? Why is the computer so slow?"
it slowed down and we started getting pop-ups. But one of my uncle started, like, he works in computers, so they started asking him stuff, and he was like, somebody's doing something shady, and that's like
It was Josh.
yeah,
It was Josh the whole time.
it was me.
Little Josh downloading. What did you say you were downloading?
Oh, man.
Eminem.
I mean, I downloaded so much stuff, but music, yeah, Eminem, Rise Against, Def Leppard,
Yeah.
Skid Row.
I definitely downloaded a lot of pop. I think Brendy was saying they didn't listen to rock and metal until they were 10. I was kind of like a late bloomer when it came to all that, you know, like until I think about, okay, like when I was young, I liked Green Day and Garbage a lot. So I guess I can't really say I was never really into punk or anything, but I didn't really know, because obviously bands like, you know, Bad Religion and Bouncing Souls and Distillers, the punk bands that I love now, they've been around for like a way long time. And it's just like, you know, you get into a band and you're like, I had no idea that they've been around for like 10 years. And then somebody finally turns you on to them, which I think is really cool. But I didn't get into music really like that, or, you know, until I started working at Hot Topic when I was in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my sister's on the stream. Yeah, dad hid your Dookie tape. Yeah. They got me Dookie on cassette. Yes, on cassette. And they took it away from me, because then they were like, "Oh shit, we didn't realize it was like this. Like, there's a lot of cuss words on it and stuff."
Appreciate Natty's continued use of Franz over there on YouTube. But White Wolf's grandma apparently loved Paradise City.
That's a great song. And
there's a bunch of stuff over in Twitch. There's a fly in the room. Got Doug on there.
Doolin was a Tupac fanatic in the 90s. I mean, what was like big in the 90s? Like, I mean, there was like, I'm trying to think of when I was like a kid. Like
I loved, now the name's Smash Mouth. I love Smash Mouth in the name.
Yeah.
Dude, I knew every single word to All Star, man.
Me too.
I had it in my Walkman. I was
I love that song.
I definitely downloaded All Star on freaking
Walking on the
LimeWire.
Sun.
Oh yeah.
That was like, that whole album was just, I loved it.
Now, Licensed to Ill was like late 80s when it came out, but I got really into Beastie Boys in the 90s and Intergalactic and a lot of those songs. Like, I didn't discover them until late 90s. So it was always fun.
Oh, Doolin mentioned TLC. I definitely. Oh my God, how can I forget the Spice Girls? I'm so glad that Doolin. I'm so glad that Doolin said TLC, because me and my best friend, we used to like sing like TLC together, and this is when I was like young. So like TLC and then Spice Girls, man, Spice Girls was it. So my go-to band growing up as a kid, if you count the Spice Girls as a band, man, it's got to be the Spice Girls for me. I would like sing every single word, dance around in my room, make little, I was a member of speaking of giving your parents this computers viruses, I joined like a fan club online when the internet was like new, and I signed up and made a password and like all that stuff. Like, I lied about being old enough, you know. They're like, are you at least this much? Are you at least 13 or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I want to be a Spice Girls fan club. Like, I don't even remember what the website was for, or it's not like I bought anything. It was just like, oh my God. I know that this is going to segue into America Online Instant Messaging, though. Because I used to stay up all night online and talk to strangers.
It's so crazy.
I would be listening to Britney Spears on the radio, on the Spice Girls website, with the little chat box open, being like, ASL, Like talking to fucking
there was
strangers.
AIM and
My parents had no
MSN,
fucking.
right?
And meanwhile, in the background, LimeWire, we downloaded some music, and my parents had no idea. Like our computer was in the basement when I was younger, and that was like my me time. And oh my god, let's not forget like Wolfenstein on PC was like also playing at the same time. Like I was also playing like a PC game like Microman or Wolfenstein or the
you never
encyclopedia
said you were a
game.
Wolfenstein fan. What is this?
I'm not.
What is this new
Oh
knowledge?
yeah, well, because on that old school dot matrix Wolfenstein where you get like the dogs, me and my sister, we knew all the cheat codes, like because there's cheat codes for that game. Yeah, we.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know there
Were
was
you playing Doom as well?
No, I had a Game Boy. I loved Mario. But my mom actually, there was this game called like Microman, and it was a PC game. And there was probably a couple other PC games that we played because we had like the old internet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we were all like addicted to all of those games. So I guess I really kind of wasn't. Oh, Captain Comic. Is that what that was? Captain Comic. Amanda, my sister, is on here and she's like commenting.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh yeah, remember that Captain Comic. We have to get Amanda on. Maybe one of these weeks we'll like Zoom and we'll be like, let's tell embarrassing stories about when we were kids. But maybe actually,
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Maybe
if
that's
it's
a
all
bad
embarrassing
idea.
about you.
Hey, no, this is a bad idea though.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a public thing. It is a podcast and a public thing. So I don't know if I trust her.
We used to play these. Me and my friend when we were in elementary school. I remember when computers came with like games, and he had like a Windows. And it came with this game called Chips Challenge. And it was like, you look down and it was like a maze puzzle and this little guy. And you had to get like water shoes to swim to the water and then go get a key and get fire boots to walk over the fire. And it was like a puzzle game. And then it also had a game that came with it called like Ski Free. And you were just this guy. And it was just an endless skiing down a mountain. And you'd have to dodge people and trees. And if you ran into the dog, it would poop in the snow. And then eventually this random like abominable snowman would like run out of the woods and it chase you and he would eventually catch you and it became over.
I love how this segued from bands into like old school fucking computer games. I used to play this one too where it was like a battle station and like bombs, missiles, you'd have to shoot missiles out of the sky,
Missile
right?
Command. Right?
Yeah,
Missile Command.
But you had to answer like math questions to do so.
Oh, that was like the educational version.
Yeah, like it would be like 17 times 2 and you'd be like, "Oh fuck, or whatever it would be." Probably easier than that. Probably quick math, 7 plus 2, and you'd have to like type it in and like it would shoot the next missile and then it would get faster.
I had word and number bunchers. And
what about
Mario teaches a typing?
I had a Sonic one that like taught you math, and it sucked. I just wanted to play as Sonic, but I had to answer math problems.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
Well, what about that bulldozer game? Did you guys ever play that where you have to like move those boulders in certain areas to be able to like advance? I used to play that all the time and I have no idea what it's called.
Okay. Hold that thought though, because I do remember my mom, this is circling back, my mom used to play this game where you literally mowed the lawn.
There's a brand new game that just came out on Game Pass called
you mow the lawn?
Lawn Mowing Simulator.
Oh my god.
No, and there's also a game called Pressure Washing Simulator that everybody's into, where you just pressure wash driveways and fences and
that's crazy.
So I don't know about this boulder game though. What is this?
No.
Yeah, it was man, I have no idea what it was called, but you were just like it was just like on the computer. Like under the games, like where solitaire and stuff was, and you were just like a bulldozer and had to move these like round boulders into certain areas to like it like got harder, like every stage got harder. But I don't know, I was obsessed with it. I used to play it all the time.
One thing I think that gets overlooked is I feel like everybody, when you talk educational games, everybody loves to name drop Oregon Trail. But
Ain't nobody had
what
Oregon
about
Trail
where's
at
the love
home.
where's the love for
This
Carmen
is it.
San Diego?
I loved
There was
Carmen
the Carmen
San Diego.
game, and you could like play it, and I was like addicted to that. Like the trivia and figuring out where she was, and then you'd go to the world map at the end and they'd have the questions and you'd do the country thing.
Can I just show you guys the lawnmower game, because I literally Googled it and I found it.
Yes.
And then we can talk about Carmen San Diego, because that is
I found the bulldozer game too.
yes. Okay.
Okay, show and tell.
Show and
Yeah.
tell. Josh, do you want to show?
We can't help transition into games because we're all nerds.
I
here,
guess
so.
not, man. Like every week. Okay, so if you y'all are gonna look at this and be like, "What the fuck?" Like it's not even like, look.
Oh my gosh.
And you had it would
And you got obstacles.
It was basically like a cursor. Oh, there was a ton of obstacles and they got really hard. So it's kind of like Snake. It doesn't stop moving. Like your lawnmower doesn't stop moving. It just goes zzz, and you have to like hit, up, down, whatever to dodge the obstacles. And then you also can't like mow over something you already mowed. So like it turns from green to black and it would just go. And so you'd have to be strategic about like how you do it. And man, and then it would get harder and harder. Like there'd be more like obstacles. And like, see, it says like pool, house, and then whatever these little green dots are supposed to be like shrubs, I guess. I mean, it's like the
Right.
most rudimentary graphics that you probably, it's like the most rudimentary fucking graphics. And then I look at freaking Animal Crossing now and I'm like blown away. I'm like, this is like so realistic. This is what we came up on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, this was like, it's like the same concept. Like you had to put these boulders on those little, can you see that? On those
now
little,
I can.
Dude, yeah,
you
that
had
is
to
so
put the
old
boulders
school.
on
Oh
those
man.
things. But you could like block yourself in. It's just called bulldozer. That's
Dude, those are the same like tiles as like Minesweeper. Like I
Yeah.
want to click
Yes.
those tiles.
yeah.
I know.
But it was
Did
hard,
anybody?
but I loved it.
Minesweeper was always the game that was on everyone's computer, but nobody ever fucking played unless you were so bored and you were just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Click, click, click. Who cares?
Yeah. There's apparently a strategy to it, but I never figured it out.
Minesweeper versus Solitaire. Go, Josh.
Oh, solitaire. I was obsessed with solitaire, to be honest. Like I had a phase where I just loved playing. I would like play it with real cards
Oh, me
at
too.
one point. Yeah, like it was, I loved solitaire.
Listen, this is how we entertained ourselves back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like when we were kids, we didn't have cell phones and internet and TikTok.
That's how TJ and Josh entertained themselves because they were rich. I had a cup that had
What?
a ball with a string, and you had to
Okay,
flip
I
the
had
ball
that
up in the
too.
cup.
We all had the ball with the cup, man. Everybody
Yeah.
had the ball with the cup. That
Ball
was
in a cup, eh?
ball.
I had a big hula hoop that I hit with a stick down the driveway.
I had a skip it. I bet one of you probably had moon shoes. I never had moon shoes.
I had
Yeah.
moon shoes.
That was like a boy's
I
kind
did
of a
have
toy.
moon
I
shoes.
feel like my
Yeah.
mom would never.
All right, so I hate to be this guy, but I feel like you said, drunk stories is gonna upcoming episode. Now we need to do an upcoming episode that is like childhood toys, and we'll just talk
Yeah.
about toys.
That's good.
That's
because
a
we're
good
gonna
one.
get sidetracked here. Like there was a
okay,
second
so yeah.
part. There was a second part to his question.
Oh,
that I
okay.
don't think
Let's
we
go
got
back to the question.
We
okay.
really went off the rails there.
Dude,
Yeah.
I got so excited. Well, because I was thinking about
Yeah.
like, okay, music, downloading, and then like I was like, picture, set the scene. Here, I'm downloading music, I'm playing this game, like I'm listening to this on the radio. It all goes together.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm pining over my science teacher.
first concert. So the concert that you have listed here, is this from Craig?
Yeah, all of that is Craig answered the questions himself.
Oh.
So go ahead and give everybody Craig's answer. real
Okay,
quick.
so this is from Craig Baraki on our Patreon. And if you guys join our Patreon, we might read your answers and questions on air as well. First concert was freshman year in high school. Was introduced to Depeche Mode. Blown away. Favorite cassette by them, Black Celebration. Seen them live about 6 to 8 times. What a great time to be growing up in all the styles of music. My first concert was Culture Club, 1985-ish, and I've been addicted to live music ever since. So I think that's awesome. God, first concert, man.
Man, he went to his first concert when I was born.
Literally.
Yeah, same year. Yeah, man, I'd love to see Depeche Mode live.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the last time they came to Nashville, we were on tour, and I missed the show. I was kind of bummed about that, but they're an awesome band. I mean, you can see.
Do you guys remember?
I'm a fan.
Do you guys remember your first concert?
Yeah. It kind of, and also I guess it would have been kind of what I was listening to in the 90s, like before Blink kind of took over. But Matchbox 20 was my first concert.
Nice.
And like I went with my parents, and it was awesome. Like Train opened for him. Like it was just such a 90s. It was awesome. I loved it. Like it was definitely a great first concert experience.
Wait, who opened for them?
Train.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like
Train
when
Matchbox
like Drops
20.
of Jupiter and all that, those songs were huge. So it was really cool. It like I was like just seeing everybody like dancing and going crazy. Like it was just a moment in time, like that experience as like a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool.
What about you, Steve? First concert?
Man, I don't know. It's really hard to think first concerts, and I definitely, my first concerts were definitely not cool, like big, huge production shows like what Josh and this guy's talking about. Like it was almost like I saw the like smaller kind of clubby shows and worked my way up, because I was sort of in the youth group scene when I was really young, and so like my first exposures to live music were like, there was one time my friend's youth group, they had a band come through called what were they called? Scarecrow and Tin Man or something, and I think Five Iron Frenzy, the ska band, played with them. And so I saw a lot of those kind of bands like in big churches or like smaller venues around, like Reliant K would come through, the skatery kind of Christian rock bands. And then like from there, it was like I was starting to go see stuff like Amberlin and Under Oath and Emery and like all these emo bands and like the mid-level clubs in Tampa, like State Theater. And I don't think it was until later that I went to like a big production stadium show. And even then even now I can't remember which was my first of that kind of show. I know I went to festivals before I even saw like a stadium show. So I'd go to like the Next Big Thing festival and Cornerstone and Warped Tour when it came through Tampa. So those were kind of like my first exposures to live music. But it's really hard to pinpoint just like one that was like, oh, that was my first experience.
That's cool. I mean, sounds like you had a very musical upbringing, a lot of live music around. I mean, that's why I'm like, it is hard to kind of pin it down, but I guess my first big concert would have been Summerfest in Milwaukee. But I grew up going to Summerfest, so I'm like, I must have been a baby and a kid like going to concerts all the time. But and we got the stadium tickets to see Blink 182 and Newfound Glory and Alkaline Trio.
That's incredible.
Like opened the show, because I remember they closed. So I had no idea who Alkaline Trio was. Right now they're one of my favorite bands, but I remember like they closed their set. They were the opening on that package with Radio, and I remember looking at my sister and just being like, this is like intense, man. This guy's mad. Like, you know, like the lyrics or whatever, like, I've got a big fat fucking body big. I wish you would take my radio to bed with you. We were just like, what the fuck is this? Little did I know that like years later, I'd be like, this is the best band I've ever heard. because we'd missed most of their set. All right, and then Newfound Glory, I didn't really know who they were either. They must have been on that tour, unless I'm misremembering it. Or maybe Alkaline Trio wasn't on, but Newfound Glory was, and they covered Radio or something. I couldn't remember, but I knew that song Radio was, I'll never forget it. And then I'm there with my aunt Carol, who's cool as hell. She's very cool. She's my awesome aunt. Mm-hmm. And takes us there, me and my sister and like one of our little cousins or like a friend or somebody, and we're watching Blink-182, and man, their live show is not like kosher, man. And we're standing on the bleachers. We've got like great seats, and we're just like having the time of our lives. Like, oh, like what's my age again? You know what I mean? Like cute. But then they play like I Want to Fuck a Dog in the Ass, and my aunt's like, I'm leaving. She's like, I will come pick you up when the concert's over. She just like left. She was like, I'm done. Like, how do you listen to this? And then go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was gonna say that's like when my mom took my sister and her friends to see Backstreet Boys, and the opening band, or maybe it was NSYNC, one of the two, and the opening band was Cisco, and like he started doing the thong song, and there was a bunch of girls like on stage in thongs, and my mom was just like, cover your eyes, girls.
Oh my god. Dude, Cisco. I'm sure we all downloaded the thong song.
Yeah, that was a big part of my life.
The thong song. Just that era, man. That's like our freaking, as sad as it sounds, like that's like our freaking like Def Leppard, and that's like our like Nirvana, like that millennium sound, that music, the Backstreet Boys, the Ciscos, the Mandy Moores, like that's like our legacy. Like that's our generation's like, it's going to be our like classic rock, one of these days. It's going to be all that millennium shit.
Well, it is kind of weird because I feel like you're right. When they do a Remember the 2000s, it's going to be that kind of stuff. But that's not how I remember that, because again, like I was in high school in the early 2000s, and at that time in my life, I didn't listen to like radio pop and stuff. Like I knew of those songs, like, because if you went to a skating rink or you went to a public pool or an event, people were playing it. So I know the songs existed. But at that point in my life, that's when I was listening to like Blindside and Something Corporate and Finch and like more of that kind of alt rock, or the like very underground emo, like Copeland and Me Without You. And I was all into, if it's on the radio, it's stupid kind of phase.
Oh yeah, I went through that phase too.
So it's like, yeah, when I think of the 2000s, I'm thinking of these like smaller, more like kind of niche-y, sceney bands. Like, so it's like I don't associate that part of my life with the Ciscos. Like, it's almost like Ciscos makes me think more of like late 90s, when I was actually into that kind of music, when I was in middle school and on swim team, and they're playing Who Let the Dogs Out, and that was like the jam.
Man.
And they're playing the Macarena at the pool.
Yes. Dude, those were the innocent, pure times. You know what, and I was gonna say, you know what kids are listening to these days, but then I was like, okay, but the thong song was definitely like risque. Like we think music today is like, holy shit, they just come out and say it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, a lot of those, like, fucking It Wasn't Me by Shaggy, he's talking about fucking some girl, like, in his fucking bed.
Yeah, but they're a little more subtle about it than WAP.
Yeah,
it's like,
I know.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, okay. Because we had to hear those songs on the radio, too. So it's like kids now can hear the songs all online, where there's no editing.
Right. They're not the radio edit or the Walmart edit.
Yeah.
Jordan brought up the song My Neck, My Back.
Oh.
That one.
Yeah, that song.
Yeah.
And then like Nelly, like It's Getting Hot in Here, and then like Christina Aguilera went through that whole dirty phase. And you know what I mean? Us young girls were just like, yes, best song ever. I love Christina. Assless chaps.
I need to quick draw attention to YouTube, where Natty brings up Bowling for Soup, because that was he finally brought my brain to realizing that next big thing was the first festival I ever went
Ah,
to.
that was a
And
great
the first
festival.
big thing, and the next big thing was the one that Bowling for Soup was there. It was, man, that festival was one of
great.
the best that I've ever seen. Crazy that it was like my first, but it was Bowling for Soup, The Used, Finch, Blindside, Something Corporate, Unwritten Law, NERD, Cypress Hill.
So
There were a ton of great bands at that festival.
For those of you who don't know, next big thing is put on by 97X in Tampa.
Yeah.
It's a radio station in Tampa, and I'm sorry, but no other alternative station even stacks up or comes close to that radio station. And that's kind of like, I moved to Florida and my senior year of high school, and I mean, I credit that radio station with introducing me to and then of course, you know, working at Hot Topic, I got more exposed and more introduced because, you know, being from Kansas, all that I was exposed to at that point was obviously, unless I downloaded it, was what was on MTV, which there was a lot of great stuff on MTV. There was, you know, Linkin Park, and they still played music videos. VH1 still played music and music videos. There was a lot of music. Marilyn Manson, all that stuff was still on. Like, we all knew what it was. But like the alternative stuff, like the bands that you're talking about, I never would have even heard of, you know, until years later, unless I had gone to Florida, and like it's a completely different like culture down there, culture vibe. A lot more bands like came through that area. You know, not a lot of bands are going to Wichita, Kansas. You would have to like drive 3 hours to go to Oklahoma City or like Kansas City to see a big concert. And so that's why I didn't really go to a lot of concerts, because I've seen them a ton of times. They were one of my go-tos in college for sure. I still really love them. I would love to tour with them or play with them. Like, I think they're great. I think they're so talented.
Tons of energy.
Absolutely.
Quick apology to Natty. She was like, I'm a girl, by the way, if I haven't cleared it up. I must have said he when I
keep telling you to stop saying he or she. I keep telling you to just say they, because we don't know.
Well, here, I said it.
All
she
right.
cleared it up, and now I know. So we're good.
Now
no
we
harm,
know.
no foul. And then Doolin brought up the good point of like, yeah, we're talking about subtleties and lyrics. Yeah, when you're in middle school, you don't know who the dogs are. It's
weren't they talking
let
about
the dogs
ugly
out, but you don't know what the dogs are. You just think they're singing a song about like German shepherds and corgis.
The music video, obviously, there were dogs. I used to watch the music video. That reminds me of just something real quick that I used to do, like when I was a kid, kind of like Steve, how you made mixtapes, where I would do that too, but I used to stay up like all night, and MTV would play music videos all night, and I'd have like a blank like VHS tape, and just whenever like a music video, like I remember like Newfound Glory was like All Downhill From Here was a music video I was playing, and like I would record the videos on a tape and then just rewatch them whenever I wanted. Like I used
VHS.
to do that. Yeah, on a VHS.
Dude, that's so corny.
You probably recorded them over your dad's like favorite tape, you know.
I you had shit to do that night. You didn't want to miss Friends,
right?
Or whatever it may have been. We used to watch ER. I remember my mom definitely used to like videotape episodes of ER. And like, what the fuck? Like, nobody nowadays could even be like, why would you do that? What does that even mean? What's a VHS? Like, what? Yeah. Like, everything's streaming, downloading, and on demand and digital. Like, everyone's so used to just, oh, yeah. And we, like, even the lawn mowing game, I'm like, oh, yeah, let me just Google it. And it just, like, pops right up. Like, we just have everything we want at our fingertips. Like, don't have to work for anything. Don't have to go to the library or research something or, like, did y'all ever check out CDs and music and movies from the library? Because I totally did. Because otherwise, how would you watch?
I checked out movies, but I don't remember checking out CDs.
I used to check out fucking CDs from the library in college because, you know, how else would you find something that you can't find on Napster? Or same thing with movies before Netflix. If you were like, man, I really want to watch whatever it may be. All Dogs Go to Heaven. I don't know why that came into my brain, but it did.
Love that movie.
It's a great
movie. They Go to Hell, like, that was like terrifying. It used to creep me out so much as a kid.
Oh.
So real quick, we're going to go back to what Josh said, and we're going to do a quick performance piece. So this is a little story, set the scene. So it's
Wait,
the late 90s, and it's a Wednesday night, and Mr. Perone just was out working a long shift. He had to do overtime. There's an order got set back. He had to stay late. Just things were going awry. Just very stressful day. Long stressful day. Mr. Perone finally gets home. It's Wednesday night, late 90s. Josh is already in bed. He did his homework. He had his dinner. He was so good that day. His mom gave him a little dessert snack after dinner. He got to watch a little Dragon Ball Z, but he had to go to bed. He's got school the next day. So Josh is already in bed. Miss Perone's already in bed too. She had enough of taking care of the kids all day, getting them to do their homework. She's already watched her shows. She's checked out. She's like, I'm done for her. So Mr. Perone walks in. He's like, all right, it's a long day, tired. House to myself, though, it's quiet. I'm going to go pour myself a nice glass of scotch, just a little couple ice cubes.
He likes Crown.
I'm just going to kick back, before I go to bed, little me time. So he walks in the room, sets his glass down on the table, and turns the TV on, and he's flipping channels around, and nothing really catches its attention. He's not really interested, and so he's thinking about going to bed, but then he realizes he has the house to himself, so he kind of looks over his right shoulder, looks over his left
You're
shoulder.
making this sound like it's going to go dirty,
and
man.
so Mr. Perone walks over to his special spot of the entertainment center.
Dude.
That's got his VHS tapes that have code word Pittsburgh Steelers game 90 blah blah blah. But we all know it's not a Steelers game. We all know what's on that tape. And he's very excited about it. Everybody's asleep.
Dude, you're making this sound so dirty.
So he goes in, pops the tape in the VHS thing, sits back. He's getting all ready. Tape starts. Newfound Glory music video. And he's like, what the shit is this? He gets so angry and he throws his remote at the TV and just storms in Josh's room and wakes him up out of his little sleep that he was dreaming of Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah, I love Sailor Moon.
And he got a big scolding on this Wednesday.
Are you kidding me? He would have been like, this is the most badass music video I've ever seen. And after that, it would have been...
Maybe he might have said that if you had showed him and not taped over his favorite Pittsburgh
Why couldn't it just be
game.
A real Steeler game?
Yeah, I feel like that's more likely. I don't like
nobody
what you're
rewatches football games. You know how they end.
Oh my god, a lot of people do.
Yeah, old Super Bowls.
Yeah, man, a lot of people watch it. Whatever. I don't like what you're insinuating of Josh's father right now.
Yes, Steve.
All right, I'm sorry. Mr.
I don't like the portrait.
Saint.
I don't like the portrait you're painting. He's a good man.
Yeah.
I used the wrong brush and colors.
Oh my god.
Apologies.
Cut that out of the podcast.
Oh, it's in there. It's in there. History
that should be another
night, the fateful night.
Yeah. Well, we're right around the 1 hour mark, so if we want to cut to the commercial / ad break for, I don't know if that's like something like now we're gonna take a word from, I don't know, our sponsors.
Well, I'm clearly gonna have to cut all this out.
Right, totally.
Well, I'm gonna go get a refill on my drink. So yeah, if it's a commercial break, why don't you go ahead and tell the streamers about Patreon and shout out our producers that are so awesome and amazing.
Well, you usually do that because you have the list of the names. So I'll wait till you get back to do that. But go ahead and go back. Go ahead and do that.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my drink. And
I'm just gonna sit here and talk to Josh.
How great Patreon is.
Patreon is, if you're listening and you're not a patron, consider joining. It's really cool, and you get to, we just want to thank you guys so much for your support. You help fund the stream, fund everything that we do as an independent band. We rely on you guys to kind of keep this all going. So definitely thank you so much for that. I want to do a shout out to LF7 Farron on YouTube and for joining. Thank you for watching. And we've got some cool stuff coming up. We are going to take your questions, which I love doing. And I think it's really cool to that it is for this month.
All right.
You know, once streamers have been streaming for a while, they do a 24-hour stream traditionally. Do y'all really want us to do a 24-hour stream? Like, no.
I don't
24
want to
hours
do it.
straight.
No one would watch
24
that.
hours
I can't stay
That's
awake
crazy.
for 24 hours. Are you guys going to watch us, like, sleep? That's freaking weird.
straight. I would
Tons of
just put everyone
fun.
to
Thank you
sleep.
for the sub on Twitch. Appreciate ya. Okie dokie. All right, so let's move on to the shout outs. So if you are a
Okay.
member of our Dead Executive Producer tier, you get a shout out and take it away.
Favorites with their children. Well, we're not your parents. We're the Nearly
Where's
Deads,
this
and
guy?
we definitely play favorites. And so this month's favorites are Paul, Craig, Derper, Doug, Ninja, Jesse, Yaroslav, Craig, John, K, and it's not that the rest of y'all aren't great, but they're just extra great.
Even just liking the stream, sharing it, telling your friends about our music and our band, that means the world to us. We have no label, we have no management, we have no booking agent. We do everything ourselves, so everything is completely fan funded. We're super proud of that, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. Woo!
All
Okay,
right.
and somebody actually said Doolin mentioned that others have actually done sleeping streams. You need to elaborate on that. Do people watch this? Do they watch people
There's-
stream? Is it like?
There's gonna be a catch.
Is it Is it like a sex thing? Like,
Yeah.
is it like hot girls sleeping? You know, or is
I
it?
think normally
That's
it
like
is,
webcam
right?
shit. I would not be doing
Yeah,
that for
that's-
free on Twitch.
Yeah.
That's like an OnlyFans thing.
I mean,
Somebody
I really
watching me
wouldn't be
sleep.
surprised.
I mean, dude. Well, the three of us have all seen each other sleep because we've, toured together and we have a tiny little fucking van. And y'all basically sleep next to each other, and I sleep on top of you guys. I mean,
Yeah, we're like sardines.
we're all,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, but I don't want other people to like watch me sleep. That's weird. I drool, I snore.
That's definitely a thing, though. Like, why wouldn't that be a thing? Honestly.
Watching people sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's a thing. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't even know which way is up. You know,
Everything's
when
a
I-
thing.
Exactly. Everything's a thing.
It's just if you can think of it, it's on the internet.
People like the things that people sell, like I really don't. It makes you think, like feet pics or like used socks or used like underwear, like stuff that you've
Bath
worn.
water. I remember that being a big story.
Oh yeah.
Some girl
from-
was selling her bath water.
Yeah, some like.
She was just
Popular.
like jarring it up,
Yeah.
and
This-
and then I think that's how that phrase was like came about. I was like, "You're so hot, I'd drink your bath water" or something.
Oh.
That is gnarly, man. How do you even
Yeah.
ship that? Like you put it in a little
Speaking
bottle.
of selling gnarly stuff,
Uh-oh.
this is what the Nearly Deads are selling this month, sort of. I mean, it's a giveaway,
Oh.
but you gotta.
Dude, it looks so
subscribe.
good.
It does.
It's nice.
Is it soft? Speaking of
It's
sleeping.
Nice. Like, I'm gonna sleep on it first. So
Yay.
whoever
Oh,
wins
gross.
it just knows.
It's
I'm
gonna
Oh.
have
sleeping
your
on it.
like drool all over it.
No, I just
Yeah.
showered, but I mean, it's even got signatures on it. There's
Nice.
TJ's. There's Hosh's, I think.
Hush.
Javi's is down there.
All right, so explain
Mine's over there.
the pillow. It is a giveaway for a patron.
Giveaway.
And this month, it's the pillow. I told you guys the story of it last week. I didn't have any ideas for a giveaway, so I said, let me sleep on it. And everyone was like, something you can sleep on. A pillow. Why not? And we all digitally signed it. I think it looks badass. I designed the artwork for Punk Rock Kitty Cat cover art. I'm really digging it. It looks awesome on a pillow form. And we've already had a couple people like
Yeah.
possible
So,
Kickstarter
yeah.
prize when we do one later this year.
If you want an opportunity to get on the drawing,
You have to join
we're
the
gonna do it
Patreon.
next week.
Yeah,
Next week.
we're drawing for the pillow next week. So if you want to get in the hat for the pillow, you have to join the Patreon. The link is right here on the stream, www.patreon.com/thenearlydeads. Lots of cool tiers. You have to be signed up for a producer tier.
Yeah. And so if you're already a patron, you can upgrade to producer tier and be in the drawing and downgrade later if you want, or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
we
the cool
don't
part.
tell you how to spend your money,
Yep.
but
And we definitely appreciate the support. I think our lowest tier is, what is it, $1 or $2?
dollar. Yeah.
So for little as $1 a month, you can also show your support. Or just, continue to watch the live streams, follow us on social media. We're all over the place. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, basically everywhere but TikTok, because we're just fucking late to the game.
Yeah, we're not good
We
at
have a
that.
Discord.
We're trying to get Javi to do that, but we'll see. They'll be good. Like last week you mentioned doing kind of the wrap up questions, like quick fire
They'd
questions.
be like a quick
I think
fire
they would
wrap up.
fit that very well. They're easy, quick questions. So we'll save those from Doug Saxon till the end.
Cool.
But for now, until then, do we want to take some live questions?
I also think, yeah, let's take some live questions. But I also want to know, Steve and Josh, if you were going to live stream yourself doing something mundane like sleeping, what would it be?
Eating, for sure.
Eating.
Well, would you make it like an ASMR thing? Like, here's Steven, and you have a very soothing, deep voice, a very specific voice. I'm sure there's.
I'm not made the comment about when I was talking about my redness, and he said, spray your face with eye drops to cool the redness.
You sound like
which goes into my for dry eyes. Use clear eyes.
Yes, everyone. Steve sounds just like Ben Stein. That is his regular, normal voice. There's nothing he can do about it.
The Lord just felt so inclined to bless me with this here voice.
You have a beautiful voice, Steve.
What'd you say, Josh?
I said you have a beautiful voice, Steve.
Thanks, do. Josh. It's unique. It's unique. It's you.
If I was gonna film myself eating, I would do it in not like a sensual way at all. I would make it the like weirdest, grossest angle so that it's just like right up on my mouth, so that when I'm eating, you just see the saliva and the burger falling apart.
No,
it'd be like an upshot, so you like see up my nose at the same time. Like...
just like heavy breathing.
Yeah, you see my double
chewing.
Chin. It's just very like mouth breathery.
Oh my god, gross. What about Josh?
Maybe like mundane, like watching TV. I don't know, just like something boring as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe
like you'd be like looking at something over here, like watching TV.
Yeah. And I'm like facial expressions, but I'm watching them by myself, so I'm not like saying anything.
I totally talk to the TV by myself when I watch TV, right?
I guess I mock commercials all the time.
If like something crazy happens in whatever show, I'm like I'll freak out by myself. Yeah. Like, oh shit, But
that's funny.
Or like a horror movie. Film yourself watching a horror movie.
That's true.
I'm gonna film Josh being stuck in traffic. It's just like bumper to bumper traffic.
I was stuck in traffic today. I was literally in traffic for an hour, and I was so pissed.
Dude, no.
Yeah, it was terrible. Pittsburgh traffic at like 2:00 is the worst. But I should have filmed it.
Should have filmed it, dude. There's people out there that are like, yes, I love watching people get stuck in traffic. Yes.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking on your feet, Josh.
I know.
LF Farron says, greetings and a hug from Mexico. Greetings. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
So any of you guys out there who are watching, shout out some questions at us. We'll be taking your questions. What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? Even just a topic. So throw those out at us anytime.
He said like you had something to say and it just got awkward.
Yeah, sorry. Cut that out of the podcast, right?
No, I'm just putting that on loop for 45 minutes.
That would be really funny.
Yeah, like the next podcast, you know how when you edit, you go and cut out ums? I'm just going to cut out everything but the ums and uhs. So it's just the three of us going back and forth, just being like, Hmm.
Um, um,
So, Natty says Spyro or Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic, but I love Spyro, but Sonic. And also there's like gonna be a new Sonic game coming out. I
Nice.
just like saw a teaser trailer, so I'm super hyped on it. It's not coming out till next year, but the rumor is that it's going to be kind of like a open world Breath of the Wild type Sonic game. So
Dude,
I'm like,
cool.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, I saw it on that Sega stream.
yeah,
And
um,
there's the second movie coming out too,
yeah,
right?
yep,
Which the first one was not a bad, video games get a bad rep for like when they get translated into film, they're usually pretty terrible. But that Sonic movie was actually pretty fun. Like I
yeah.
enjoyed it. It was funny.
Um, but
I'd
yeah, I'll
pick
give it to
Spyro though.
what?
I would pick Spyro. I'm
Well,
sorry, Josh.
I mean, I love Sonic. Spyro as a whole, like all his games are good. There's a lot of Sonic games I'd rather not play, but Sonic just means too much to me. So I have to pick
Aww.
Sonic. He means everything to me.
Aw. I'm Sonic too. I never really played Spyro. I'll go
Spyro.
Sonic.
They're good games. They're fun.
Yeah, it was that weird era
Mm.
of like PS1 when they had a bunch of like random like Spyro. Then they had that medieval game where you're like the skeleton guy, kind of looks like Jack Skellington as a knight. And then like Crash had just come out, Crash Bandicoot, I think.
Dude, Jordan got like Crash Bandicoot, like didn't it just come out or something? And I tried to play it and I was like, this is the hardest game.
It's so
It's
hard.
I was
so
not a
hard.
fan, man. I was like, I can't play this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the remaster trilogy.
Yeah.
Everything's getting remastered.
Yeah. Nostalgia is all
Spyro
the
got
rage.
remastered.
Yeah, I
I
have the
just played it.
Spyro one. Yeah.
Yeah. The Spyro is harder than I remember it being too, but I don't think I did very good when I was a kid playing it.
I think games in general were harder
Yeah,
when you're a kid. Like
that's
they're
true.
more forgiving now.
Yeah. And if you get stuck, you can just look something up. Like
I
Donkey Kong
mean,
64.
honestly, I look stuff up for like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Like it's sad. Like you try to get to a point where you're just like, I'm not going to Google this. But here's the thing that when you Google something, it's like somebody out there already figured out what you were too dumb to figure out. And that makes me feel even more dumb. Like
I
it's
know.
somebody's job to just get
Yeah.
and it's like the game will be out for like a day. Do these people get their games like early
Some, yeah, like
to like
a lot of
beat
these
them and review them and
journalists,
then
yeah, video game journalists, they get them early for review. They get
yeah.
review codes, so they get them early. Or
Okay.
like the sites that a lot of them that do the Wikipedias and stuff, they get them early. But that's, I mean, that's their job. Is it's almost like being
Yeah.
a game tester where you got to like explore every inch of it.
So you make sure there's no glitches or bugs or anything because I'm always like, how did these people like know this already?
Yeah, I try my best because I enjoy, like, for me with gaming, I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer. I love story driven games. So I like, it's almost like an interactive novel. You're playing the main character. I like that. And then I like games that have puzzles in them, like Resident Evils. And they used to have like more complicated puzzles. And yeah, same, I did not want to like look up. I'm like, I'm going to figure it out myself. But eventually you get to a point where it's just like
Too
you've
hard.
been hours on this one thing and you're like, fine, I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
And it's always the most obvious thing. It's always like, God, it was right in front of my face.
Also, Doolin asked if we could talk about Kevin and if he's doing okay. And I have to tell you, I haven't really spoken to him in a long time, but I follow him on social media. He seems like he's doing okay.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit ago, and yeah, he's in Seattle. He's living with his aunt and uncle, I believe, and he's got a job in construction, I think, is what he's doing. But
Yeah.
he's pretty happy out there. I mean, it's beautiful. I see him post pictures. I mean, he lives near the coast and it's mountainous. So I mean, he seems to be living his best life.
Yeah.
He says he's happy. He's making money, living out there. He's in a a weed friendly state, which he loves. And
Yeah, so he's living the
you
dream.
know, he's doing what he wants to do. He still plays bass and he's trying to do his own project. So
Yeah.
yeah, good things.
Good things going for everybody. So let's see. Are you playing Battlefield when it comes out?
I will probably try it. I'd try everything. Well, especially with, I don't know if it's going to be on Game Pass, but EA has a deal with Game Pass. So
I also
with
heard.
having Game Pass, it's kind of like having Netflix. So if it comes, I'm usually like, try anything. I mean, it's basically free at that point. And so I'll probably try it, but I'm not, I'm not a huge like multiplayer, like Call of Duties and Battlefields. I play Battlefront just because it's Star Wars. And I'm such a Star Wars nerd that even though that's multiplayer and basically the same thing, I play it just because I want to be battling with Ewoks on Endor. Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Dano says, I'm playing Battlefield for sure. If anyone want to team up, hit me up. Yes.
Hit up Dana.
The nearly Dads community. We all come together in game.
Yeah, share your gamer tags on there so you guys can team up. It does look cool. I mean, it's one of those crazy games where there's like 100+ people in the game at one time in the battle and completely destructible. Like, you can knock skyscrapers over, but apparently they got weather, like a sandstorm will come through or a tornado, and it like affects the battlefield.
That's
and stuff.
cool.
It looks pretty crazy.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be playing Halo. Halo Infinite is free to play.
I heard that they're making an Outer Worlds 2. Is that a thing from E3?
Yeah.
Got me
You
stoked.
should watch the trailer. It's really funny.
Funny.
Well, yeah, because Outer Worlds kind of had that humor to it.
Yeah.
And the way they did it, the whole trailer for it was super funny. It was like, epic monster crashing through, look at his teeth or whatever, but forget about it, this isn't in the game. And it like wipes it away, and they're like, and then cue in epic scenery with the sun coming out, pan out, now main character walks into screen, and you see like this guy walking, and it's just like the narrator is kind of like narrating all the cliche like trailer cues, and he's like, and in comes the pounding music or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just kind of funny.
Cool.
There's like a lot of humor to it, and then
I'll
it's
have
like
to check
Outer
it out.
Worlds too.
Yeah, Jordan told me about it, and I was like, "What?" Because I love the first one.
You may have to get an Xbox. I don't know,
because
Obsidian's owned by Microsoft now, so maybe Xbox exclusive.
No, I don't think so. I don't really have room for another console.
Come to the dark side.
I've never.
Literally.
I mean, the only reason I even these are Jordan's things. They're not mine. I didn't even buy the Switch. The Switch he bought for me, or he bought so he could have one, and I just kind of like took it over.
We'll tell him to get one. I just got a lightning green. It's almost like highlighter yellow controller.
Nice.
That's cool.
So if you want, we're about at the hour-and-a-half mark. If you want to go ahead and wrap it up early today, because I know we had mentioned maybe possibly making these a bit shorter for everyone's
for
sanity.
my
editing purposes, for podcast
editing purposes, selfish. Well, we can always keep it running as long as we're having fun and things are going. But
not
if we
fun
can keep
today.
it to an hour and a half.
Joking.
But
I'm done having fun. Steve.
I'm done having fun for today.
Yeah, I'm ready to be pissed. So speaking of being pissed, let's go into Doug's wrap-up questions here.
All
so
right.
Doug Saxon on Patreon asked 2 questions. They're 2 quick ones. I'm going to read this one first because he mentioned something in here that I'm not sure is a thing. And again, is Doug one of our European friends? I don't know. But the question is, why do we have chicken salad, egg salad, and ham salad, but no beef salad?
Ew.
WTF is a ham salad? I've never I've never seen
salad's
ham salad.
It's a real thing.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Do they have it at
I've never
Permani's?
had it.
Is it like a Pittsburgh
feel
thing?
like it's I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
it's something that they make with like spam. I'm not really sure. That sounds nasty. All of it's nasty. Egg
Yeah.
salad's okay. Now that
I
I'm
dislike egg salad. Chicken salad's all right.
now
Yeah.
that I'm a vegetarian, I could not even stomach the thought of like chicken salad or ham salad. But egg salad, I used to hate, and ew,
You know, I'm gonna
that's
make eggs and bacon for dinner.
oh damn, breakfast
good.
breakfast for dinner, dude. When
That's-
Jordan is
that-
on his shit, when he's on his like, he does the insanity workouts. You guys know because
Yeah.
he's made you do them on tour before.
Mhm.
He'll eat omelets morning, noon, and night. But like beef
Yeah.
salad, there's also, or is there like fish salad?
I think there is. Yeah, I mean,
Like
there's
crab
definitely
dip.
like crab salad or
Crab dip or
I don't
which
know.
which
I don't know.
I've just never heard of ham salad. I thought maybe that's a
You know why
Northerner
there's no
thing.
Yeah,
beef
maybe
salad?
it's normal because I know that's real. I think we might actually sell it like at our deli.
ham salad is more like ham slices, at least in the UK, says Natty. My sister's having chicken salad tonight. There's this place, this vegan place down here that makes it's like a chickpea salad. So it has all the stuff. I think it's like vegan mayonnaise, celery, all the seasonings, and they make it like they mash up the chickpeas. So it like has the consistency of a chicken salad sandwich, and it's like my favorite sandwich.
I mean, I'd be down with that. Because I'll use chickpeas and there's a soup that I make, or the white chicken chili that I make has
Nice.
chickpea in it. So, but I wouldn't, if I were gonna do like a mock chicken salad, I wouldn't mash it up because I like the chicken salad that's got the cubed grilled chicken in it. So it's like grilled chicken with like celery and raisins or whatever else nuts you put in it.
Raisins.
But so if I were gonna do the substitute, I'd do the chickpeas whole and a little bit more al dente, so it's not like mushy.
Yeah.
So you have like a crunchy texture.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Doug. I don't know that. You know,
Because that sounds nasty as hell.
beef salad is probably
But,
steak
like,
tartare.
I feel like it would be hard to eat. Like what like
Hamburger
what type of beef?
meatloaf.
I mean, if it's
meatloaf
shredded,
is meatloaf like beef salad. Like it's basically like a shredded
it's like beef bread,
and then you put mayonnaise
Meatloaf is
in
beef
it.
bread.
yeah. I mean, I'm really not a fan of any of that stuff. I mean, chicken salad probably is good.
I
but-
used to
yeah.
love meatloaf before I was a vegetarian. I kind of miss meatloaf. Meatloaf and
It
fried
is
chicken
good.
are the two things I'm just like, man, I really miss it. Especially like the way my mom used to make it. I'm like, so good. But you can make vegan meatloaf. I think I tried once with like the vegan. You can definitely make a vegan meatloaf with like that fake meat shit.
I was gonna say that sounds like something you could make, like
Yeah.
a substitute.
Because you just put like
I just-
breadcrumbs and like, so good,
it's-
man.
It's fake. Like what it.
What's the
Like
point?
it's not that I'm anti-vegetarian, but it just like when they do these like substitute fake things, it's like why not just eat vegetables? Vegetables are good. Like what is fake meat?
Fake meat is
like-
made. A lot of it's made from like there's pea protein or ground up chickpeas or mushrooms in a lot of it or black beans. Like so, a lot of it's just formed to kind of have like a texture of meat.
Oh, see, I'm just like if it's gonna be all that stuff, just tell me it's black beans and chickpeas, and I'd probably be cool with it.
Right.
But
B-E
when they say
apostrophe
when they
S.
say like beef substitute or something, then it just immediately sounds awful.
chick apostrophe N. That's what we
Yeah.
call the chicken nuggets. Chick apostrophe N, and then beef is BE apostrophe F. Bef. That's our joke when we go to like buy our little fake meat stuff. I mean, it's not the best for you. Like honestly, if you're gonna be vegan or vegetarian, that kind of highly processed stuff is still full of sodium. It's still full of carbs. It's still full of stuff that's not healthy for you. But every once in a while, for like a quick thing, it's kind of nice to have vegan meatballs, like veggie sausage, stuff like that. Like I like all that stuff, but of course I love vegetables too. I'm trying to be better about cooking actual vegetables and not eating a lot of the processed stuff, but man, it's not easy. But every time I think about eating meat again, it like makes my stomach turn. It's not like I'm going to be like, I'm too lazy for this. I'm going to just start eating chicken again. I'm just like, just no, not for me. So who knows what it's going to be like later in life? Like, I don't know any old vegetarians. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I don't know if your body can handle it if you start getting like in your 80s or 90s, or if your doctor's going to be like, listen, you just need to eat this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know. But for now, it's working out. We're really happy, feeling pretty healthy. Was there another wrap-up question?
Yeah. The last wrap-up question from Doug is, around the house, shoes, slippers, or barefoot?
Socks. Who wears their shoes around their house? Oh my God.
That have like house shoes. Well, you do.
Called yourself out.
Literally. Look, I'm wearing shoes. I'm wearing
for everyone listening.
I'm wearing tennis shoes.
TJ's over here like, who the hell wears their shoes in the house?
And I'm like,
and
fuck
then she's
me.
got these big old white sneakers on.
Oh, man. In my defense, I had just come home from being out somewhere and like went straight to like the stream.
Yeah.
It's gonna
that's the only time. That's the only time I have shoes. I have slippers in the winter, barefoot in the summer.
I have hardwood floors though, so like there's always dirt and dust on the floor and cat litter. So I mean, slippers, I have to wear slippers or house shoes or socks, and my feet get really cold, so I like almost always have socks. I hate the feeling of like my bare feet on the hardwood floor, because no matter how hard we clean, man, the bottoms of your feet will just get black.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I used to...
Does that just mean my house is fucking dirty? Did I just tell everyone in the world that my house is just fucking dirty?
Well,
we have a cat, pets, man. You know, if we have
you just can't have anything clean when you have pets. No. And so I was the same way. When I had dogs, I never wore socks. I don't like having socks on when I'm home, but I would wear my slippers around. But now that I don't have dogs, I like how the hardwood feels on my bare feet, especially in summer when it's hot, because it's like cool. But in the winter, the hardwood gets pretty cold, so I'll just wear slippers around.
What about
Josh? What was your...
I'm pretty much exclusively barefoot all the time. I don't know. You know, I think that's a good question though, because there's a lot of people, like I know, like my sister and her husband like can't understand how I can just walk around barefoot, but I do. I mean, like I don't know. When
like
I'm not outside.
as soon as one piece of dirt, like one like pebble or anything, like say your house is carpeted, I could see being like barefoot, but like as soon as I walked into the like tile floor of the kitchen or something, I'd be like, ugh, I don't like that feeling.
I understand that, and that's their point about the feeling. Like,
yeah.
But my place is all carpet besides the bathroom, so. But.
Well, that makes sense for you. My mom, like, I couldn't understand. Like, I'm barefoot when I'm inside, but when I go outside, I always have to have shoes on. My mom would always go barefoot outside because she did as a kid, and I always thought that was weird.
Dude, there's this whole thing about standing. Have you guys heard this? Standing barefoot in the earth, like grounding. It's like a thing. It's like a form of therapy for people who never get outside. It's like take your shoes off and like just stand outside in the grass and like let your energy vibe with the earth. It's like a
sounds
thing.
Pretty crunchy.
It's like sounds pretty crunchy, but like it's like it's like a thing. Let me.
I feel like I could see that though. I could see it being. I don't know.
It's for anxiety, PTSD, and more. Or put your hands in water. Pick up or touch items near you. Breathe deeply. It's like a grounding thing.
Have a good night, Dano. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you. Yes. And Doolin said he was in a hospital bed, so hope you're feeling better soon. And thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Next week, we should be able to start an hour earlier. So.
Oh, next week we're going to do it earlier?
Well, we were trying to do it earlier, but the past couple weeks
we've done it later.
We did an hour later just because life. But
right, I think so. Yeah, so next week we're going to be an hour earlier, so 5
That's what
Eastern.
We're shooting for.
5 Eastern, we're shooting for. Here's Moom. Just so you guys know, if you're listening, my cat just entered the room. Leisha has entered the chat. The Moon. All right.
Sneaky, like.
She's so small and cute, and she's just like, she moves so slow. Okay. All right. So 5 Eastern, 4 Central, and then the week. So next week is when we're announcing who wins the pillow. So
Yes.
definitely join the Patreon, check it out. Make sure you're in the hat for that if you really would like this one-of-a-kind pillow. And then the week after that, we're going to take a week off. And you guys can talk amongst yourselves. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thank you guys so much. This is always a lot of fun every Wednesday. And I love that we're turning this into the podcast. So be kind to us. Leave us some comments. Leave us some, leave us a good review on your podcast service of choice so we know we're doing a good job, and give us some feedback. Let us know what you guys want to hear about, what you guys want us to talk about. And yeah, anything else, guys?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, we will see you guys next week. Bye.